So a warm greeting to all. In last video we have discussed about long division method, and we have seen the various possibilities of solutions we can obtain from partial fractions. The very important thing that we have to keep in mind for considering partial fraction is we have to maintain the highest degree of denominator than the numerator. If not so, we have to proceed that given question with long division method until we are getting the highest degree in the denominator than the numerator. So after getting such order, I mean highest order in the denominator than numerator, and we can stop that long division approach and we can proceed that question and the answer of that long division with a partial fraction method in order to get the final inverse Z transform. So that is the main thing that we have to keep in mind. So let us start with the numerical problems using partial fraction method. So here we are having a question. X of Z is having 1 divided by 1 minus Z inverse into 1 minus 0.5 Z inverse. So the very first thing is we have to eliminate the negative power of Z. So here we are having Z inverse and Z inverse, right? So we have to eliminate the negative powers of Z. So in order to do such things, we are going to multiply and divide by Z square on both denominator and numerators, right? So after doing such things, we can convert this X of Z into a positive power. So at last we are getting the X of Z as Z square divided by Z minus 1 into Z minus 0.5. So the very first thing is we have to convert the negative power of Z into a positive power. So after that we have to divide this X of Z divided by Z. So first thing is we have to eliminate the negative power, and second step is we have to divide the X of Z by Z. So by doing such division, we can write this as Z divided by Z minus 1 into Z minus 0.5, right? So now we are having two factors in the denominator, so we can write this as a divided by Z minus 1 plus B divided by Z minus 0.5. So this is the partial fraction method. So first thing is we are going to find the constants A and B. Here we are having two constants. So for finding the constant values, if you want to find the value of A, then the formula is we have to multiply this X of Z divided by Z with respect to its corresponding denominator. So X of Z divided by Z into Z minus 1. So if you want to get the value of B, so we have to multiply this X of Z divided by Z with its corresponding denominator value and we can substitute the value of Z as its corresponding pole, that is 1, and for B it is 0.5. So the formula is X of Z divided by Z into corresponding denominator with respect to its pole. Okay, so here we are having its denominator and multiplying with X of Z divided by Z. So with respect to, we can substitute the value of Z as its pole. The pole with respect to the constant A is 1, right? So we can substitute the value of Z as 1. So after substituting the value of Z as 1, we will be getting the value as 2. Likewise, we can get the value for B by substituting the value of Z as 0.5. So at last we will be getting the value of B as minus 1. So now we can substitute X of Z by Z, and we can replace value of A and B as numerical value 2 and minus 1 respectively. So after that we can multiply by Z. So we have to remove this Z. So we can cross multiply, or we can bring these two numerator on the right hand side. So it will become 2Z divided by Z minus 1 plus minus Z divided by Z minus 0.5. So now we can it is in the form of the sequence what we have seen in the tabulation in the very first video today. So now we can get X of n from X of Z. So by taking Z inverse, we can take X of n, right? So X of n, it is equal to 2 is constant, so z divided by z minus 1 is the z transform of u of n, so 2 into e of n, and here z divided by z minus 0.5. So instead of a, here we are having 0.5, so it is in the form of a power n e of n. So value of a is 0.5 power n into e of n. So here we can multiply this minus with plus, so minus into plus will give minus. So likewise we can get. So before proceeding the solution, the very first thing is we have to check for the degree of z in the numerator and denominator. So after eliminating the negative power and bringing that to positive power, now we can check for the limits. So here we are having after in this step we have to check, so x of z divided by z. So now here we are having the power of z in the numerator is 1, but whereas in denominator is 2. So if you are going to simplify this denominator, we will be getting z squared. So the power is 2. Here the power is 1. So we have to check the powers of the given value after bringing that to x of z by z term. So after bringing into this format, we have to check for the power. So here we are having a higher power in the denominator, so need not to do any long division method. So we can directly proceed by using partial fraction method in order to get x of n. So now we'll see the another problem. It is having z square divided by z minus 1 into z minus 0.5 the whole square. So the very first step is we have to bring the power in the positive value, right? So already it is in the positive power, so directly we can go for the second step, that is x of z divided by z. So by doing so, we can write this as z divided by z minus 1 into z minus 0.5 the whole square. Here we are having three terms, so one with z minus 1, another one is with the z minus 0.5, and another one is z minus 0.5 the whole square. So it is for the repeated poles. Okay, so now we can get the value of a. For getting the values of a, the very first is we have to multiply this x of z by z with this corresponding denominator by substituting its corresponding pole value. So z minus 1 into x of z divided by z with z equal to 1. So by doing so, we are getting the value of a as 4. But for solving b and c, we are going to use another new formula. So it is, since it is having a repeated poles, in order to find the values of b and c, that is for repeated poles, we are going to use a different formula. So here we are having m order. So here in denominator we are having m order. So if we are having in this formation, so in order to get some particular pole value, some constant, the formula is 1. For value at kth order, the formula is 1 divided by k minus 1 factorial d by dz of k minus 1 into z minus p power n x of z divided by z at z equal to p. So now you suppose if you are having some repeated poles in this one, now we are going to start with the finding the value of b. For finding the value of b, you can take this as R2. So here we are having the value of k as 2, right? So now for substituting, we can substitute the value of k as 2 here. So 1 divided by 2 minus 1 factorial d by dz of 1 minus 1 will give 0. So anything divided by power of 0 will give the same value, d by dz. So sorry, here the value of k is 2. So 2 minus 1 will give 1. So d by dz, and the corresponding pole value is z minus 0.5. So the power of m is 2. Right, so we have to use the highest power. So z minus 0.5 power 2 x of z divided by z at z equal to 0.5. Here the value of m is 2 and the power pole is 0.5. So after substituting, and at last we'll be getting the value of b as -4. So the thing that we have to keep in mind is, for finding if you are having any repeated poles, for finding that very first value, we are going to start with a k value as 2, and the second one is a next pole, that is a constant, that is c, and we have to consider that as r1. So the k value is 2. So here we are having only 2 repeated poles. So the very first one is 2 and the second one is 1. So we are going to start with k value as 2, and we are going to reducing the value of k. Okay, so for getting the value of c, we are going to take the value of k as 1. So here the k minus 1 factorial d by dz of k minus 1, right? So after substituting the values, we will be getting the value of c as -1. So now you can replace all the constants a, b, c with numerical values. So now we are having in the form of x of z divided by z, right? So now we are going to cross multiply by z. So at last we will be getting in this formula. So 4z divided by z minus 1 in this formula. So we know the form, this 4 is constant in and the next term z divided by z minus 1 is the u of n, and -4, again -4 is constant, z divided by z minus 0.5 in the form of a power n u of n, and again plus and minus will give minus z. So z divided by z minus 0.5 square. So it is in the form of z a power n u of n, and here we are having square. So n a power n u of n. So n a power n u of n. So at last we found the value of x of n directly from the tabulation values. Okay. So far we have seen in this very first problem we are having the negative power, so that we have converted that to a positive power. So after that we have to bring this question to x of z by z formation, and after bringing into this formation, we are going to check the limits, I mean power of z in denominator and numerator. In this very first problem, we are having higher power in denominator than the numerator. So directly we are finding the values of a and b. At last we have found x of n. Whereas in second problem, after bringing this x of z divided by z formation, we have checked the powers of z. So in this problem too, we are having highest power in the denominator, but whereas here we are having a repeated poles, so we are going to use some different formula for finding the repeated poles. The a is the normal pole, so by using a normal method we can find this a value, but for finding b and c we are going to use this formula. And remember, for finding, if you are having any repeated values, and if you are going to find the very first value of in the repeated poles, we have to start the value of k from the highest value. Here the power of m is 2, so we will be having the value of k as 2, so we have to start the value of k from 2. So for b the value of k will be 2. For getting value of c, we have to use value of k as 1. So by using such in this formula, we are getting the value of b and c. So now suppose if you are having equal number orders in both numerator and denominator, so at this time we have to go for long division until we are making the highest order in denominator than the numerator, and after that we have to proceed with partial fraction for the remainder of the long division. Okay, so first we are starting with long division. After achieving the condition, we are going to proceed with partial fraction for the remainder of the long division. Okay, now see the one example for this one, and here we are going to find h of n from h of z. So here we are having in the negative power, so before converting that into for solving such things, what we are going to do is we are going to convert that into a positive power, and after that only we are going to bring that to x of z divided by z formation. So but this just for an ease of understanding this logic and concept, we are started with this negative power itself. Okay, but you people just do with converting that power into a positive value, and then proceed with the method what we are preferred. Okay, so but here we just for understanding we have done. Okay, and here we are having we are checking the degree of this one. Here the highest degree is -2. In denominator the highest degree is 2, but whereas in numerator it is 3. So we are not having a higher degree in the denominator than the numerator. So we have going to start this problem solvation by using long division method. So we are going to divide this numerator with denominator. Okay, so our thing is we have to bring the remainder to 0. So but here we are going to often check the value of z. Okay, so after doing the division, so here we are having some remainder. Okay, now we can check the here it is the dividend and it is the quotient and remainder, right? So now we'll check with this one. So here the quotient is having 2 plus 3z inverse, right? So quotient plus we are going to write in the improper fraction. So quotient plus remainder divided by dividend, that's all. Okay, so quotient is 2 plus 3z inverse plus -1 plus 5z inverse divided by the dividend, right? So now we are going to apply that partial fraction for this fraction. So here we are going to consider this as the constant, some factors. So we are going to remove the quotient from the answer of long division. So for this term, third term in the h of z, we are going to apply partial fraction. So now for this we are going to check the power of z. In denominator we are having highest power than the numerator, so we can proceed this with the partial fraction method. So far we have discussed about long division, and then in long division we have seen for two cases, and if we are going to consider with ROC, with respect to ROC we are going to change the order of the denominator. If it is for positive sequence, we have to start with the highest power of z, or if it is for a negative sequence, we have to start with the constant value and end up with the highest power of z. So, and in partial fraction, we are having three different possibilities of solutions. So we have seen the numerical problems for such possible solutions. So the very first, for all type of possible solution, the very first thing is we have to bring the question into the format x of z divided by z, and after bringing to that format we have to check the order, power of the denominator and numerator. Always we have to maintain a highest power in the denominator. We have to get more value of m than n. Okay, and if not so, we have to divide the question by long division method. And after doing some divisions, after doing some two divisions, and we have to write the quotient, and we are going to write the answer of long division in the form of improper fraction. It means quotient plus remainder divided by dividend. Okay, and after getting the solution of long division, at that time we have to check the order of z for the that remainder divided by quotient. At the time definitely we will be getting the highest degree of z for denominator, so we can proceed with partial fraction for that portion of long division. And for repeated poles, we are going to use a different method formula for finding the poles. And for if we are having we are going to substitute the value of k from the highest order. If we are having the highest order of denominator as 2 and in the value of k also 2, but for finding the poles, the very first pole is going to have the value of k as 2, and for second pole we are going to reduce the value of k to 1. So that these things we have to keep in mind for solving the partial fraction methods. Okay, so in next video we are going to discuss about the residue method, and then we are going to discuss about the convolution method. Thank you.